We're joined by our 2013 NASCAR K&N Pro Series West champion, Derek Thorn, driver of the number 6 Sunrise Ford, Lucas Oil, Eibach Ford. Derek, tell us about your run tonight.
Definitely not one for the record books as far as our run went, but it was one of those things. We've taken each race one race at a time this year. I raced for Bob last year. We got a good feel for each other and exactly what we were set out to accomplish. And our whole goal 2013 was a championship, and we had sat down, had a long talk about it in March, before we'd come to Phoenix the first time, and we just happened to put together an awesome season for ourselves. We weren't always the fastest, but we were a model of consistency, and we always put together good, solid, strong runs. And to win a championship, that's exactly what we got to do, and these guys performed it quite well. I can't thank Bob and Maureen Brancati for giving me an opportunity to drive a 6 for 2 years like they did. This being our last race together, definitely a way to kind of kick it off and close out our 2 years together. And Bill Sedgwick, the crew chief, and all these guys on the team have really, 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 really worked hard to keep the stuff going how it is and to get us in this position to win the championship.
Derek, tell us about the race tonight specifically. What was it like for you out there?
Man, once those guys in the first lap laid down all that oil, I don't know what happened to the track. Last time we were here in March, we went from loose in practice to tight in a race. So I think our goal was to try to keep the thing turning and rotating and not using up the right front too much. And I don't know what happened to our balance of our car, whether it was tire pressure, tire going flat, or the oil on the track. But, man, up off a corner, we could not get traction. And we just kept falling back, and I had to keep in mind, I feel like if I wasn't racing for points, I could have gained a few more spots and hustled it a little bit longer or a little bit harder. But being free like that, you're flirting with the wall every time off of 2 and 4. And, I don't want to put us in a position to make a small mistake to have it cost us a championship.
We'll open it up at this point for questions for Derek. Stan?
Yeah, might as well. Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. I apologize for not really knowing much about you or anything like that. So what does the future hold for you, and where does this championship rate in your racing career?
This championship is by far an all-time high. I have a sad, it's hopefully not the end of my career, but at the same time, I've been trying to cherish every moment because racing itself is tough right now. It's tough for any kid in 18, 19, 20, 25, 30-year-olds to try to make it in racing without a little bit of money. So, trying to round up the sponsorship dollars is always a task drivers are trying to accomplish. But this moment with Bob Brancati and Maureen Brancati winning the championship in the 6 will be an all-time high for me for quite some time, I believe. It'll be hard to knock that off a top pedestal.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Chris?
Can you talk about the NASCAR K&N guys coming over and racing and what that does for the West Series? Obviously brings some spotlight to the series to see those guys from the East Division come over and talk about that. Can you talk about the race today, racing with some of those guys?
They always bring Cole Custer and O2 Galding. Those guys set the bar high for us. We on the West Coast tend to be more in a bubble as far as technology, resources, and the access to the proper stuff to sometimes find the speed. The 00 and O2 showed us exactly how fast these cars should be going, and for us to be 4/10, 5/10 off in qualifying, says we got to get our act together, and it pushes us. It's like anything else. Competition is what drives the sport. It keeps everybody competitive. It keeps everybody moving forward. It's one of those things where no one can ever settle. You can never stop and be satisfied with where you're at because someone's always trying to make their stuff better. And the East guys come out and always give us a rude awakening on how far we need to keep trucking to keep our stuff improving. I think 50 laps was plenty for us tonight, that's for sure. I wouldn't ask for any more tonight, but it's tough. We come out here for 3 or 4 days, and it's definitely hard on some of these guys to just run 50 laps. It's fun to kind of throw in a little bit of the pit stop mix into it, but at the same time, it's tough. It's like that caution on lap 1 takes us 20 minutes to clean up. And realistically, if we would have went straight from the green, it only would have been a 20-minute race. So it's tough to kind of toss up because sometimes you get guys that ruin it for others, and you can't control the unpredictable. And a lot of guys, you kind of let them be what they are, and sometimes they make mistakes and sometimes they don't.
We'll go up here to Gabe.
What are your long-time plans in racing?
I'm hoping here in the next year or so, with this being done, I'm not sure if this will open up any doors, but it sure doesn't hurt. It's always nice to put another notch in your belt or have that on your resume. But I think in the future I drive for a guy by the name of Byron Campbell up out of Bakersfield. And we have 2 more races left this year. We go to Vegas next weekend, and we're going back to Florida for the Snowball Derby. So I try to get an intermix. I try not to keep all my eggs in one basket. I drive for Bob Brancotti, Byron Campbell, another guy out of L.A., and it keeps me not only up as a driver, but it allows me to kind of transition from one series to the next. If this is ending, I'm not without a ride by any means, so it helps me stay behind the wheel, keep in touch with people I need to keep in touch with, keeps me working on my marketing plans and proposals and trying to get sponsorship dollars to help me ultimately get to the trucks or the Nationwide Series.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions for our champion? With that, I'll congratulate you again, Derek. Great job. Thank you.
Guys.